There's a real contrast between these two fighters. I mean, it's
Yeah.
absolutely plain. On the right-hand side there, the size difference to the fighter on the left.
Yeah, the size difference, and also, if I'm honest, the age difference. Wang on the right, the taller fence is 33 years old, whereas Wong is 23 years old. So that is a good 10 years of experience against her.
And you have personal experience of fighting Wenying Wang as well. You know what it's like to fight somebody who's a very tall fighter.
Yeah, I do. She's tricky. In fact, you know, she almost knocked me out in the last Commonwealth Championships. Actually, it went down to priority last minute hit, and luckily I got the last hit. But she was so tricky. She's got this terrible reach, and her attacks, as you can see there, are so long. You really have to use your footwork.
I was going to say, by terrible, you mean very good.
Terrible, I mean, yeah, no, I meant in the best possible way. That probably wasn't the best way of describing it. But yeah, as you can see, look at that attack. It's just destroying, basically.
They are very close in the FIE World Rankings as well. It's number 97 for Wenying Wang, and Cheryl Wong is number 98. So they're very evenly matched, these two.
Yeah, but I think, you know, irrespective of rankings, when you're fencing your teammate, it's just who's going to hold their nerve on the evening, really, especially when you're in the semi-finals of the Commonwealth Fencing Championships. It's such a tough one to fence your teammate because you both know each other's weaknesses, and so you're kind of constantly trying to catch everyone out and just find any opening that you can.
There's an early lead then for the taller fighter, 3-0 already. That's a good gap to have in foil.
Yeah, but you know, Nick, it's never over until it's over, and in any of the weapons, you've just got to fight to the bitter end, and you can just see that she's just got her first score on the scoreboard, which is going to give her a bit more confidence. She had a fantastic attack there. Wang just got hit on her finger. I can tell you that really hurts in fencing. I used to get hit on my little finger all the time, and it's really quite painful.
Yeah, the guard's not quite as big as the other weapons, and so there's a little bit more of the hand exposed, because it's almost like that gun grip as well. It's not the kind of, I suppose, the traditional way you'd think about holding a sword. Yeah,
no, it's pistol grip, which actually, you know, I much prefer having a pistol grip, because actually it gives you greater control of your weapon. And it's much easier to kind of get your point on, I believe.
So how does Cheryl Wong then tactically take on a fighter who is that much taller? Is it all about speed? Is it getting inside that long reach?
Yeah, I think like what she's just doing there, you know, if she can get in close with her and then just do a quick start of the attack, she needs to use her speed and agility, just like a boxer would in the ring if he or she was boxing someone who's taller. You've just got to be quicker, faster, more agile. I think the other thing she could do is kind of wait for Wang to attack and fall short, and draw out that attack and then take up the remise and hit her. They just seem to be kind of bouncing around. I wonder if they're going to call passivity at any moment. There's a few beats to the blade there, so they won't call passivity just yet. Oh, that's a good hit. Very important hit, close quarters hit nowadays in fencing, especially in foil fencing. There's loads of close quarter hits, so we actually. Sorry, Nick.
No, I was going to say we've seen an awful lot of that today, where they're almost kind of hip to hip. Just explain what you are and aren't allowed to do in that situation, or is it just a question of who's fastest hands?
Well, actually, before you used to get carded for an action that was called corps à corps, which is basically body. It means body to body in French, and that's when you intentionally try to jostle your opponent to avoid being hit. But now actually, they've just recently in the regulations, they've said that they're no longer going to card that, so you can actually do corps à corps and you're not going to be carded for it. So this means in particular that you have to be very good at close quarters, and when you get up close you've got to make sure you get that hit. And in fact I used to train exactly that hit, and we used to do lots of fights in training, where we were very close together, and the whole principle was to hit at close quarters.
Just edging towards the end of the first period then, of course, remember it is first to 15 points.
I should think now Wang is oh, look at that. That was a really lovely attack there. Wang just tried to contort her body and counter-attack, but she just didn't do it quick enough. Yeah, they're just going to wait for time now.
Yeah, Cheryl Wong just stepping back there, but I think that was a very important hit for her, wasn't it, to make that score up, to narrow the gap again, because it was in slight danger, I suppose, of running away from her a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It'll bring her confidence up a little bit now. You know, when she has attacked, they've been beautiful attacks, so she can do it. It's not like the height difference is really that much. We'll just have a look at the replay here. They both moved out, stepped in, and it was actually, here we go, she's going to attack. And that was a beautiful hit at close quarters, you can see just to upper chest. Just shows how important. And there's a very nice, she went for the parry riposte, missed, and then got a close quarter hit in prime, it's called, in fencing. There are 9 parries in fencing, believe it or not. Don't ask me to name them all.
that was going to be my next question. We'll maybe save that for later.
Yeah, save that for later.
Interesting that both fighters were just taking a little seat there, and when we spoke to those who'd been in the finals yesterday, they did mention it had been a very long day for them, and particularly this kind of fighting where it is very tactical and the fights do last that little bit longer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, women's full fencing, it's not rare that you just play out all the 3-minute rounds. And the other thing is, of course, fencing competitions are such long days. These guys start at like 8 AM on the piste. They're finishing probably at 9 PM if they're looking to win the competition. So, I mean, they are hugely long days, and it's just, you're constantly psyching yourself up to fence, and then you might have, say, half an hour in between each fight where you're kind of resetting your mind and getting a bit of energy, getting some food, some fluids down you. So it's kind of constantly gearing yourself up and down, and it's being able to manage your emotions during the day just as much as the physical aspect of your fencing. The emotions are so important.
Well, Wenying Wang has looked very much in control from her fights through the last 16 right down to this semi-final, and you just wonder if that composure, that experience, which was brought to bear in the finals we saw yesterday as well, if that's going to be one of the big factors throughout this championship. Yeah,
I think so, and I think experience, is going to be her biggest thing really in this. She's looking really comfortable to me, so I think if she just takes her time, picks off her opponent hit by hit, she'll be okay, unless Wang can just rattle her cage a bit, get up close, force her to attack at the wrong time. Yeah, the referee's not separating out as hit together. Perhaps if Wong can just kind of draw her attack, make her attack and fall short, and then take up the remise of the attack, that would be a good tactic to use against such a tall fencer. But it is difficult. The height difference is definitely an advantage for Wang. I just noticed also Wang's left-handed, which in fencing is beneficial. It's advantageous to be left-handed. Just
explain that for us. I mean, obviously they're both left-handed, and I wonder if that cancels each other out.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. Yeah, they're both lefties. Yeah, so I suppose it does. I mean, it's hard for fencers because for right-handers they don't often fence. Left-handers, the majority are right-handers, so that's why they've got the upper hand. And interestingly, only 15% of novice fencers are left-handers, but yet in the FIE World Champions, 50% are left-handers. So it goes to show, left-handers are very strong fencers.
So just 7-3 then to Wenying Wang, maintaining that lead, extending it a touch up to 4 points.
Yeah, you can tell they're taking their time. They're really trying to work each other out, and each hit is important. Referee see it as attack from the right. It's very close, this.
something else you see an awful lot in foil as well, that straightening of the blade.
Yeah, because you do get up close quarters, and it's a point weapon. So when you attack your opponent dead on, you're going to get a bend in the blade. But actually, a lot of fencers go to straighten their blade just to have a bit of a tactical break as well. Just to kind of reset and think about their next hit. She's just trying to get the parry and hit a flick hit on the back, and she missed that a couple of times there. And Remise was off target. Wong here, they're very close distances. She needs to be careful of the big attack, but that was attack all the way from Wong, which was really nice actually. She's just got to be brave enough to commit to her attack and get that right timing, and she can get this. She can do this. She can still do this, Nick, just hit by hit. She can claw it back.
There's certainly plenty of time left. It looks like there might have just been a little bit of a stinger on the hand of Wang there.
I wonder if she's going to start applying pressure now and just go for that attack. Fortunately, attack was parried by Wang. Riposte was good, so that makes it 9-4. Very solid fencing.
I suspect she's rather used to being the taller fighter, and therefore used to, I suppose, the smaller, quicker fighters coming at her and trying to negate that advantage. So I presume her counter-attacking skills are well honed, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure she uses. She does use her reach to her advantage, and she likes to attack, I must say. At the same time, she's got very good defence, and again, just counter-attacking in. She completely twisted her body in such a way where actually she's hardly exposing any target area. It's very difficult to hit.
Yeah, they've just stepped back then. That's the end of the second period, and Wenying Wang of Singapore leading her fellow countrymen 10 points to 4 in the first of the semi-finals tonight from the 2014 Commonwealth Fencing Championships. Don't forget, we've got Chloe Dixon against Kathy Cook coming up. Scotland v England. Always interesting.
Always interesting. I try not to be biased, Nick.
Me too. I think that's probably fair. Of course, in the men's sabre semi-finals, we've got 2 further England-Scotland clashes as well. So lots of that going on tonight. Yeah,
I should imagine with the men's sabre there's going to be lots of bravadery and lots of shouting, which, it's great. It makes it kind of like, I love the histrionics of fencing, and just brings a bit of atmosphere.
There is such a difference in, I think, the mood of the crowd here and it's happened throughout the day for the women's foil compared to the men's sabre. It is say the temperature of the room ratchets up, doesn't it? And there's a lot more shouting, there's a lot more support because it happens so quickly. So it's very much a chess match we're seeing right now with the women's foil, as opposed to the arm wrestling we'll see later on, I suppose.
Yeah, and you're right, Nick. It is, I suppose, the atmosphere is a bit subdued now because, well, anyway, no one's gonna, it's so tough for Singapore because they can't cheer for either or. So it's a little bit subdued. There she goes again. She's just counter-attacked. She's really found the timing now, and I think Wong is going to struggle to kind of, well, she's going to have to chase, and when you're chasing someone who's quite good at counter-attacking and picking up her parry, it's going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, just 4 more points needed now for the taller fighter.
Yes, it just means that, Wong, there's absolutely no room for error now. She's really got to focus on getting every single hit on. Even avoiding those off-target lies, because she's only in the final period. There we go. Tap together, 1 light. These are the attack off target. So Wong tried to attack, missed. And Wang came in to attack.
I suppose a big part of foil fencing is trying to make that target almost as small as you can without doing anything illegal. But, turning your body, making it a difficult place to hit.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of fencers do that. I used to do that a bit, just to make yourself a bit awkward to hit. And indeed, especially with the smaller fencers, like Wong here, It's a really good thing that they've now introduced the electrical bib, because you know, quite often when I fence very small fences and we didn't have that electrical bib, you know, you'd constantly be hitting the bib off target, and it was so infuriating when you knew actually it felt like they were covering a lot, like half of their target area. You know, it's tough for me. Who's actually got quite a big torso. I felt like I was at such a disadvantage. But no, it's great now. We've got the electrical bib, and I think it makes fencing much fairer.
Just a short hiatus here, some running repairs needing done.
Yeah, Wang's just using her Allen key there to tighten her foil, because her guards obviously come loose. It is pain actually when you're fencing and it's a bit loose because it rattles. It's just hugely off-putting for the fencer, so fair enough.
I mean, you very much need it to be an extension of your arm, and nothing, you want anything interrupting that. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a really nice way of putting it actually, Nick, because it is, you know, the arm should be the one that's going forward first, and it should be an extension of your arm. So especially at elite level sport, you know, in fencing, everything has to be right. You have to, if you've got a little niggle in your equipment, then stop the fight. It's not worth sitting on it.
You've got to think that Cheryl Wong is now getting a little concerned about how much time is left.
Yeah, she's no doubt going to have to put pressure now, and I think she needs to step it up a gear, to be honest. Well, she's just got another hit.
And there go the crowd, a little ripple of applause. They obviously want to see a closer encounter, I suspect.
That said, you know, a minute and 20 seconds is still quite a lot of time in fencing terms. A lot can happen.
Yeah, of course the clock does stop whenever there's a break without anybody scoring a hit, so that's going to obviously work in her favour in this situation.
That was a very nice clean-cut parry pass. There she went again. That's the right thing to do. She drew her opponent's attack. She was waiting for it. She knew it was coming, and she took the parry, she took the block, and riposted. That was a really good hit. Right, Wong, I think you're going to have to go now.
Yeah, 6-point difference. And there's one of them back.
Yeah, it was two. You can see Wang even putting her finger up, acknowledging that she got the hit there. That's good kind of camaraderie between teammates. Very nice timing there. Just called on a preparation as she was advancing forward.
And that looked to be very much that long reach we've talked about that allowed her to do that.
Yeah. Similarly, we've got an English fencer, Catherine Cook, coming up, who's got a very long reach as well, so that'll be interesting to see. 3 seconds out.
Yeah, you're going to see that's it. Going to be all over. Just a second left on the clock. That's it. Wenying Wang goes through to the final in the women's foil competition, defeating her countryman Cheryl Wong 13 points to 7. Just not enough time on the clock. She looked very much in control from the off there, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she did. She was always in the lead. Very, very solid fencing, to be honest, and I think that's the way to do it with your teammate. You don't want to rush the fight. You just pick them off, hit after hit, and actually she fenced that in a very controlled manner. and I think she could be a serious contender to win the gold tonight. Actually,
yeah, a little disappointed in Wong's performance, do you think? Because as I say, she did so well in the tableau of 8 when she took out Aisha Fehozi. It was a very, very strong performance to win that.
Yeah, that was a really close fight to watch. So she has had some tough fights along the way today, but you know, she is so much younger, and she is a much far less experienced fencer. So, you know, at the end of the day, experience won over tonight. And actually, I don't think she'll be too disappointed with a bronze medal.